Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. What this is, or what this should become, another channel about 3D printing. Now, do we really need another channel about 3D printing? I mean, there are a lot of presenters and YouTubers, and they all do a very great job. They are making great tests, great reports, really great information there, from basics to advanced. So, absolutely advised. So why another channel? Why making another channel? I want to provide some kind of different information. So I'm not eager to do some material tests or some equipment tests. I'm not doing this for a full-time job. I managed to evolve to a state where the 3D printing hobby became somehow a kind of profession, so it pays for its own. So I'm able to buy some stuff and to invest some printers and materials and some equipment, by printing and selling 3D prints or by consulting companies. And that's, for example, one thing I want to talk about. And so there is a possibility to be able to make some money out of 3D printing and getting a lot of experience with it. It's not totally easy, but you can start with a very, very low budget. How can I get started in making money with 3D printing? Most of my customers are of an industrial nature, so and that's where the money is. It's very easy to spend loads of time in something that won't give you anything. What's important to know is the things you have to be aware of when you're printing for industrial customers. I have loads of information on that might help you out and may protect you from some mistakes I made in the first place. I have an original Prusa i3 MK3 and I already did some modifications on it, so I want to talk about that. A lot of prints are needed in flexible filaments, and flexible filaments are always a little bit struggling. Recently I had a big breakthrough, and now I'm able to print flexible filaments in a reasonable amount of time and a very good quality. And it's a very soft filament I have to deal right now. It's a very soft and flexible TPE, and I'm totally happy with the result. And I want to provide the condensed informations. What do you have to do with when you want to print those filaments? And just to give you a number, the most common printing speed for this flexible filament is about 10 or 5 to 12 millimeters per second printing speed. I'm now printing it with a speed of 30 millimeters per second, and I see there's more potential. So I guess I could ramp it up even to 50 or maybe 60 millimeters per second. So here's the original Prusa i3 MK3 printing right now this very flexible TP filament. And as you can see, it has a decent quality, and it's printing now at a little bit slower than 30 millimeters per second because it gets some... No, it won't. That's the 30 millimeters per second, I guess. Another thing, I have a GE 10xE Tech whatsoever aluminum frame printer Prusa knockoff, and I made it a reasonable printer, and it earned quite a lot of money for me. So not really a lot of money, but compared to the cost of the printer. I want to show you the improvements I did to the printer and how I did it and why I did it. So what are the reasons and what's the background of it. That's a G-Tech now at idle mode. As you can see, modified extruder, modified spindles. In the power supply there's something modified as well. And right now it's tuned to 3 millimeters filament, but I can change it back to 1.75 millimeters. Just because of some older projects, I have a lot of 3 millimeter filament left and I want to use it. There you go. It has to go away. There's another printer, an SLA printer. Okay, I bought the Chinese knockoff, and guess what? It printed terrible. The reason why I bought it is because I got some special requests about some very detailed prints, and I saw the only possibility is to print it in SLA. So I need this printer, and the plan was that this one job pays up for the printer. I mean, the printer got paid off anyways with the job, but it didn't work out the way I wanted it to. So, long speaking short, I want to go into the printer and into the cheap Chinese SLA printer and its problems and what needs to be done to make it work properly. Here's the SLA printer I mentioned, also in idle mode, and the additional equipment I need. I also want to talk about printing in SLA and with SLA and the resins and stuff, how to take care of it and how to take care of your health. Another project I did was I built a 3D printer in a Delta design from scratch on and with the original diamond hot end, so a 3-in 1-out mixing nozzle. So I want to talk about that, how I constructed it, its benefits, its drawbacks, and I'm going to improve it furthermore. But I have an example print that I can't find right now, but I go and look for it at some time. So I want you to show this printer, what I thought about this printer when building and constructing it, so there would be some very useful information if you intend to build your own 3D printer. Maybe some useful information there. Here we have the Delta's little brother. It's a 3-in 1-out design nozzle. 3 extruders, linear rails, a lot of features here in this printer that I want to talk about and what I'm going to do with this. Here's the board. It's a rumba board, and I intend, this printer is already very silent and I want to equip it with some Trinamic TMC 2130 drivers and make this printer ultra silent. This will be a very fun project too, that I'm eager to report and share with you guys. And the whole printer here, the whole parts, they are open source, of course, and when I'm going to this project I will share a link where all the parts and all the assembly is shared. Oh, there it is. 3-color Marvin, and yeah, not perfectly tuned the parameters. There's some leftovers of the black in the face, but all in all it's quite a decent quality, and the overhangs are just perfectly everything without a single support, even here in the keyring. So definitely a printer that's worth looking at it. Another project, it's the big brother of the little Delta. It's a big Delta and it's as high as the room here, almost. It's about 2 meters high, and the building dimensions should be about 700 millimeters in diameter and about 1 meters or 1.2 meters in height. And here it is. It's the large Delta printer. Some cables hanging there in idle. I have to totally rewire it because I'm going to change the strategy. I first made a rack and pinion design. It's a whole printed rack and it were printed pinions, and it ran with some Delrin wheels running in the groove of the profile. As you can see, they're very small profiles because I had them just around, and it should be a proof of concept. And it worked, but with a not so perfect quality. I went for the linear rails, and as you can see here are the carriages, and they have some Delrin bushings, and here are the Delrin spindles. So that will be fun. Here are the push rods. Push rods, they are carbon fiber reinforced, and what's fun of it? They are magnetic. Whoop. Very cool. Another thing I want to talk about, it's this housing I made in a shelf. Oh no, it's wooden, it will burn down. No, it won't. We will talk about that. Another thing, how I designed, how I constructed it, and why it is as it is. What kind of fancy tech it contains. The presenting style here on this channel, as you can see, is talk to my hands. I don't have a presenting room, I don't have fancy equipment right now. It's all because I'm just getting started here, and I want to see how it turns out and how all works out and how it goes. And I mean, if there's some kind of success, if you can say, there might be the intention to gear up the equipment, to get a better camera, a better microphone, to give you better quality. But I just don't want to get all in with it now. So if you're interested in the things that might come up on this channel, then stay tuned. Maybe be so kind and hit the subscribe or like button. You have heard already, I'm not a native English speaker, so please be kind to me if there are some linguistical or grammatic errors in talking. Another point, I'm not doing a lot of scripting, so it's pretty much all out of the box. Okay, so if you have any questions or some special requests, what you might want to hear or you might are interested in, I probably could add it to the to-do list or to the videos to come. So hopefully we'll meet again. Have a good day.